Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome.
Recording in progress.
Welcome, welcome. You have found us. Yes, you've absolutely found us. We are the second halfers. And hey, who knows what the second half means? We talk about it all the time. People, provers, or maybe you're looking to find out more about ketones and our community here at Prove It. But it's typically people that are over that age of 40. Maybe you're doing some transformations in your life. Things just aren't like they were when you were in your 20s or your 30s. And now you're moving into this different phase of your life. I'm excited about the second phase of my life, and that's why we're called the second halfers. Today, we're going to say hello to a real good dear friend, pro champ, Dustin Schaefer, the Keto Pro, is here as a guest today. We're going to ask him some questions. So this is going to be Q&A. If you're here for the first time, we hope you know where the chat box is. It's down at the bottom. Find that little bubble. We'd love to hear from you. Where are you coming in from? Who invited you today? And if you've got some great questions, Dustin's going to be here to answer them for you. If I haven't introduced myself yet, let me do that quickly. My name's Lynn Knowles. I live in Dunedin, Florida. I've been drinking ketones for 3.5 years. I've been sharing them passionately for about the same amount of time because I literally had a life-changing, and you hear that all the time, but I had a life-changing moment 3 days into drinking ketones, and that was brain fog lifted off of my head. I had amazing energy, and now 3.5 years later, I've compounded the effects of drinking ketones. And it's not just about the brain fog lifting. It's not just about the energy. It's not about the fat loss or the mood. It's about the metabolic health and how great I feel and how I know that my health is taking it onto another trajectory. I'm going to be that young, vibrant woman in my 70s, and I just know it. So I thank ketones for that every day, because this is not the person I was 3 years ago when I found ketones. I am so happy to be able today to say, hi, everyone. And please remember, put those questions down in the chat. We want to make sure, we've got Dustin here. Let's ask him some great questions. But Dustin, hi, how are you? Welcome.
Hey, Lynn, I'm awesome. How are you? Are we figuring out, we're going to make sure we're not reverbing anywhere. So if you guys, Lynn and I are working on multiple platforms trying to inspire people around the world. So we have literally, I think, 9 platforms going right now. And so we're going to be looking and helping. So if we miss your question, feel free to reach out and ask us. But I'm good. My favorite topic, and if you guys all get to know me, the reason why I'm as inspired as I am about this is because my mom's story, who's 71 years old, and she's what got me going. And she's what really got me inspired by this. So I'm going to mute for a second, Lynn, as you ask me away. I can. So as we're working through this, Lynn's working on the mute unmute button. So just bear with us. We're figuring this whole thing out, but we'll get you guys dialed in. So the thing is I am passionate about this. I've been very fortunate to work with some of the top thought leaders in the world, and I wasn't going to say this today, and I'm not going to get into it, but I had somebody on TikTok, this lady, and she positioned herself as a health professional. Now, she didn't say what she did, and she basically was kind of like ketones, blah, blah, blah. And she was not putting them down, but it was very evident she was uneducated and ignorant on the topic. So I'm a non-confrontational person. Like, really, I don't feel the energy to get into it with somebody that it just didn't make sense for me. And I went nuts on this poor young professional. I'm assuming she's a doctor or a nurse. That's what I'm assuming, but I don't know for sure. She said her patients that she works with. And it just made me realize is that we're all in different places. A lot of us don't quite even understand what this is yet. People don't quite understand the power of it all. And the one thing she was right is the ketogenic diet is hard. That's correct. But I asked the question, isn't every diet kind of hard if it's different than what you currently do? Right. So you got to find a lifestyle that you're willing to follow. But the research and science is so supportive of ketosis, from a human existence, and I use my mom as a story. My mom, I had her on a diet for most of her adult life, or my adult life, excuse me, for the last 20 some years, because she wasn't well. She wasn't healthy. The diet I put her on is very scientifically evident, very scientifically backed diet. And she never got her vitality to the next level. And here I'm positioned in, one of the kind of leading people in coaching this concept. And I can't even get my own mom to feel awesome. She was good, but she wasn't great. She was getting by. She wasn't thriving. And when I get to see my mom come for my son's birth, and she sat there and held him on the couch, and she didn't get him up. She wouldn't pick him off the floor. She wouldn't walk up the steps with him because she didn't have the confidence in herself. If you're somebody that's my age at 45 or at 55 or 60, maybe it's, you're good now, but what's it going to be like in 10 years? Or maybe you're not good now, and you're like, what's it going to be like in 10 years? Or if somebody at 71, it's never too late to start, right? It's never too late to get better. It's never too late to get better. So to me, being in ketosis is super important because the science supports it. Humans have been in ketosis nearly all our existence. And we finally found a way. If you're watching this, you probably are already drinking this most likely, but we finally found a way that you can get those ketones without following that really strict diet that doctor or whoever was talking about. That is hard, because it is. Every diet is hard if it's not what you're used to doing. So to me, the only way to get optimal wellness is ketones have to be a part of it. The question is what's that look like for you, and how should you implement it? Really, that to me is the real question. I threw Lynn completely down the ringer. So, hey, listen, we're good. We're going to get, you guys bear with us.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for your patience. Thanks, Sus. Now, can you hear me? You got me? We're good. All right, cool. All right. So what you were talking about a few moments ago about your mother is so important. And you mentioned your age. You mentioned your mother's age. I'm 58. I never believed that I could feel this great at 58 because I'd given up a long time ago on feeling well again, or feeling vital, or having vitality. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you today is, let's just jump over to women really quickly. Okay. I'm looking at everybody on the Zoom here. We got a little question here about how ketones can help balance things out for women. And I know that you've done a big role of your life of helping women after they've had babies or maybe hysterectomies and things. Can ketones help balance out many things with women that would help them feel better as they're aging?
Well, of course. Well, let's talk about this. And I'm not going to go for 4 hours. I'm going to ask you to mute, Lynn, if you don't mind. I'm not going to go for 4 hours because this is a 4-hour conversation. But listen, it doesn't, and the truth is, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. If you're in that second phase of your life, I was just on a call with a guy out of Utah, and he's like, Dustin, 45. I hit 45, and everything seemed, what I did for all my life seemed to not work so well when at 45. What he doesn't understand is his biochemistry is shifting and changing. Ladies, your hormones are shifting and changing. I'm going to be honest with y'all. It seems like they're always shifting and changing. But the reality is there's a phase of your life where you have this big shift and change happening. The same thing's actually happening to men. So at the age, I'm not going to get too deep. Like I said, I'm going to try to be patient, but 25 years old is when we kind of peak physiologically but emotionally and intelligently and like stress wise, we have some time to still build on this. So by the age of 35, 40, what happens is that your brain isn't uptaking energy as well. So that's just, it's adding up. It's like a deposit. You're taking cash out of the bank account and it's adding up. So then we hit that 40, 45, 50. Well, guess what? You got some baggage that's been added up and we have to undo some of that. And so why ketones are so important, a good coach of mine, my mentor, somebody that I've learned more from about the human body than most people. He's one of the most recognized individuals in all of human performance in the world. He's worked with NASA, the Department of Defense. He's worked with all top Olympic athletes. And he was my coach. He was my mentor. And he said, listen, there's one hormone that's kind of the mother of all hormones. And there's a level of truth to what he was saying. But his point is, he goes, we can help keep those things at bay as long as we do the work with it. So when people ask me, how does ketones impact somebody, a woman going through transitions hormonally or a man? The first thing it does is it reduces sugar and carb cravings. It provides a sustainable brain fuel that you're lacking because of all these other reasons. It provides a sustainable energy that you feel like going out and move your body. We know that exercise helps support mood. It helps support hormonal balances. It helps support fat loss, helps with sort blood sugars and all this other stuff. So ketones gives you a fuel source to help you improve those aspects. But more importantly, they're not solving all your problems. They're creating an environment for you to do what you already know that you should be doing more of. And when I get on calls with my 30-year-old, 25-year-olds, it's like, it's more of you have to educate them because they just don't know. They haven't been through it yet. If you're above the age of 40, 45, 50, 60, you're not dumb. You kind of know you need to do some stuff, but can we stack the odds in your favor so that you can do those things? And in 15 years, I taught people health, wellness, nutrition, and I did well, y'all, but I couldn't help a lot of people. Most people quit. In 6 years, drinking ketones, we have people all around the world. If you don't mind in the chats, where in the world are you from? I know Ireland's on. I know Australia's on right now. We have some Singaporeans on. I mean, I think that's how you say it. We have US, Canada, Mexico. And the reality is that ketones give them the momentum to help make better changes. It's going to provide a fuel source to your body and your brain. So Lynn, what other options we don't have anything else that creates momentum. And we know it at any age that you are, if you don't start creating a positive health momentum, you're already going in a negative one. And in a sense, your body's getting older. Hormonally, your odds are stacked against you. Matt here, this guy's a beast. But most dudes don't have this opportunity because hormonally they're not set up very well to do that. This gives them the momentum to set themselves up so they can have that opportunity.
Awesome. What you just said is so incredible. And I know myself being 58, drinking 2 ketones a day for 3.5 years, at least 2 a day. It's like this compounded effect, Dustin. You know, we always tell people when you get started, you need to do this. Like, there I am. That was 3.5 years ago. That was 90 days apart, Dustin. Lady on the left, she was not a happy camper, but on the right, she was. Thanks for showing that. Listen, Dustin, we know about compounding effects, and maybe I look at least the same age as I did there, right? I mean, it's been 3.5 years. That's a great effect, the anti-aging stuff, as we're moving forward in life. But I heard you talk about carbs and sugar cravings going down. Does anyone have to change their diet to get the benefits? Because I think when people hear keto, they think, I got to do the keto diet. Can you just touch on that for a moment?
Absolutely. So here's the deal. I'm a huge keto guy, and a lot of people, I don't even follow a keto diet anymore. I follow autoimmune low carb paleo diet is what I actually follow. So it's a hybrid kind of paleo or keto diet. And I support with drinking ketones, right? That's what I found. But I did the keto diet for many years because that was the only way for me to get healthier. And so the doctor that was kind of uneducated on keto, she was right by one thing, and the diet's really hard. And the reality is, I was on with a lady, Jean, yesterday. She's 71 years old, and she's like, Dustin, she's telling me, I go, you know what to do. Like, you know, you should do better. I go, what if ketones can carry 80% of your success, and then you can help out on the other 20? I go, what if that's the case? So the short answer is no, you don't have to follow a ketogenic diet. Should you have therapeutic ketones in your system if you want to live better? Your brain, especially your muscle, your heart, they need ketones if they want to optimize them, right? So the answer is yes. The challenge we get into, Lynn, is that a lot of times people, that's why we're doing this call. A lot of people just don't know. If you're new to this and you're kind of listening to, you're like, well, I'll try it. You don't have time to just try something. You have time to do something. Does that make sense? Like, I'm going to try that. Well, no, you can try when you're 18. You can't try anymore. You got to do, otherwise you run out of time. Does that make sense? So we know scientifically that elevating your ketone levels long-term is important. At the same time, I'm a health coach. Do I think people should be eating donuts and Twinkies every day? No, right? But can you drink ketones and still do that? Yes. Can you still have benefits? Yes. But will you get optimal benefits? No, you'll get more optimal benefits if you support a healthier lifestyle. And that's simple. What it looks like, less processed food, meaning just less crap, more natural foods. Don't care where it comes, like just more natural foods, more movement of your body, more movement, and less food in general. And if you want to maximize health, less carbohydrates is a positive. Doesn't mean you have to be keto, but can you maybe be a little bit less? Meaning instead of having a basket of French fries, can you have 5? Well, over 2-3 years, that'll add up significantly, right? And if you combine it with ketones, you'll change your life forever. Now, some people are going to go more extreme because that's just who they are, right? I'm that person. My wife is not. So no, you don't have to do the ketogenic diet. Yes, I truly believe if you want to get healthier faster, I do encourage you to do the things you know. Eat less processed food, eat less breads and pastas, eat more high quality proteins and high quality vegetables, walk more, smile more, and enjoy your life. Just use the ketones as the topping on the cake, and everything else will fall into place.
It's true. It's true. I mean, I'm really grateful that I can still have a slice of pizza every once in a while, Dustin, and keep my health and wellness and not go down that rabbit hole that I used to go down constantly after I would eat a high carb meal. It was be like, okay, here we go. I'm out. Let me go back. I got to fight my way through. So this has been like, we call it, take the jet over to England instead of swimming across the Atlantic. I don't have to worry about, like I said, beating myself up every day because I wasn't perfect, right? And I think as aging, it's something that I did for a long time was beat myself up. And it just causes us to have more heartache, feel worse about ourselves. And this is something that has helped me feel good about the choices that I make every day. And they're not always perfect, and that's okay, right? I think one of the things that we got a little question here. I love this. How about strength as we age, Dustin? When you talked about muscle preservation and brain health being the two most important things that we can have going into the second half of our lives and to have better health and wellness, you want to touch on that a little bit because we know that this is not, this is muscle sparing and it helps preserve muscle.
Oh, my favorite topic. I also have a question on social media. We are doing a live Q&A social media, so if you feel free to pop questions in there and I'll answer that one next. So strength. So Dr. Kenneth Ford, if you don't know who that is, he's somebody that really stands behind Prove It. He's the former chairman of NASA, and we talk about this a lot. So first things first, ketones are very vital to brain and cognition because of energy. Your brain, if you're over the age of 35 years old, and you're not in ketosis, your brain is not working as well as it should. And I don't care what else you do or take, it won't. If it doesn't have energy, it doesn't make a difference. Right? There's all these brain things out there, but energy is the fundamental foundation of all those things. And then the second part of this is you don't ever want to lose your muscle mass as you get older. And so why are ketones so vital? The first reason why is after the age of 25, typically muscle mass starts to decrease. Ladies, especially you skinny ones, really skinny ones, you don't want to be skinny fat when you get older. That's not a healthy thing. You're more prone to osteoporosis. You're more prone to falling and breaking a hip. It gets bad. And it's about if you lose muscle mass, you lose coordination. You're more risk for everything else to overcome challenges that may be coming your way. Ketones actually protect you from losing the muscle mass, number one. Number two, what they do is they actually provide a sustainable, I'm going to answer this question with Kathy here, a sustainable energy so that you can go out and become more active. If you're participating in your life, you're less likely to lose muscle mass also. Now, if you want to add to that, if you feel good, you look good, you're more confident in your body. Now, can that take 3 days or 4 days? Yes, my mom felt better in 3 days. Now, my mom was set up to feel good in 3 days because she'd been taking care of herself. So my sister, it took 8 weeks. Thank goodness. Thank God she didn't quit. She's now 100 pounds down. She's 52 years old and looks amazing. But she didn't have that huge transformation in 8 weeks. But when you feel better, are you more likely to go hiking? Are you more likely to pick up a weight? Are you more likely to go to a gym? Of course. So ketones are vital for all the components of muscle mass and brain health. So it's not just preserving muscle mass. It creates an environment for you to go out and build it if you'd like to, because you're feeling better. And Kathy asked this question is, what's the difference between the energy or the energy of ketones versus caffeine and coffee? And I think that's a really good question, is that a lot of people don't realize is that if you're older, a lot of people drink coffee. If you're a coffee drinker, put it down in the chat. It's like 89%. It's a very high number. Well, coffee doesn't give you any energy at all. Let's be honest. Coffee itself has no energy in it. It doesn't have calories in it. So energy is calories, it's caloric, it's food. Stimulants is caffeine. Now we do have caffeine and caffeine free on purpose. So stimulant is different than caffeine. So why ketones are so vital for energy is that you can use it at night. You need it while you go to sleep. You need it all day long. So coffee, I love coffee too, but somebody says, I love coffee down to 1 to 2 a day now. People drink a pot of that stuff, right? But what they're doing is they're stimulating their system. They're maybe even stressing their system out because they're using coffee to stay awake or stay functioning when they really need it was energy. So ketones have calories. This energy provides sustainable fuel so that you're not craving and binge eating and snacking as much. You're not reaching towards a energy drink that doesn't have energy in it, like caffeine or energy drinks. So ketones provide a stable, steady energy that prevents crashing and like afternoon falls that people have. And that's what ketones do. Now you can accelerate it and use caffeinated version ketones for that extra caffeine if you want. People that are replacing energy drinks or maybe sugary beverages, we replace it with ketones if they still like that caffeine. There's actually a lot of science that supports caffeine, so I'm not against it. But I just want people to realize that it's not actual energy; it's stimulating you. And more people need more energy and less stimulation.
More energy, less stimulants. Absolutely. And I think that that's something that I was living on. And I don't know if you're out there, raise your hand if you're somebody that, I mean, you're down to 1 to 2 cups of coffee. That's awesome. I still have a cup of coffee every day, Dustin, because I love coffee, but I don't need that stimulant anymore, right? I use the keto cream with it. It's a great way to get the MCT oils in, some collagen, all of those good things that I need, but I enjoy coffee. So you don't have to give it up, right? Okay, so Dustin, here we go. I wanted to ask you, do you have any other questions that you wanted to answer? Because I really want to talk about our community. Are you open to doing that today? A little bit?
Of course.
All right. So one of the things that we know is that we have this call on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and we invite everyone to invite their friends to learn more about ketones in our community. And we have some great people that are here every call. At 58, I just heard this the other day. I got to share this with you because I want you to jump on this. I love him or hate him, Gary V. I was watching something the other day and he starts talking about if you're in your 50s, and I'm not going to use his language because my husband's sitting over here. He doesn't like when I use that kind of language. But listen, he said, if you're in that phase of your life, you've got 30 great years to go and have the best life you can ever have. Change the things that you didn't get to do before. And I realized like I have such unfulfilled potential, unfulfilled dreams that I never really have fulfilled yet. And I want to do that. And having this community surrounding us all, there's opportunities here to take us to wherever we want to go. You want to jump on that whole like unfulfilled potential and we can all have it all?
Well, people ask me like, hey, what's the secret? I'm a huge keto guy, guys. Just so you know, like scientifically, if you're not in ketosis, you're making a huge mistake. It's very evident. Now, I've been doing this for 20 years of researching it. So most people they don't even know they don't know, right? But I have this concept called the 3 Ps, right? The number 1 P is the product. We already know the product is second to none from a science, from an implication. This is it. This is the thing that we've been waiting for our life. It's something that's going to really help us change our life as long as we're willing to commit to it. And Lynn, don't make me forget, I do want to kind of give people what an ideal day would be, especially for the people in the second half, because I think it's a little different for most than maybe what you've heard before. But the second P, or the third P, is you want to have a plan, right? You got to have a plan. The last P I'm going to talk about in a second here is the people, right? It's the community. But I think what I'm finding, is that people, as they get older, they survived up to this point, and I'm using that word, they survived life up to this point, and now they don't have a plan to move forward. And this is in so many ways. So if you don't have a plan, and if you do have a plan, hopefully it's the plan that's going to get to your success. It makes sense. People are following Weight Watchers right now, and they never got to their success, right? Well, that's the wrong freaking plan if you don't get to your end result. Does that make sense? Does it mean as long as you keep growing, that's good, but most people don't get there, right? So the third part of this, and people say, what is the most important thing part of Prove It? It's the people, it's the community. And why I say that is because if you hang around, if I think of my mom right now, you go back to Southern Minnesota is where she lives, and I go home, our conversations is primarily about what's wrong with everybody. It's not what's right with everybody. When you're talking about your kids, right, going through high school, you talk about, oh, they did a great job at sport. You kind of bragging them up. As people are getting older, it's like, I have thisism, I have diabetes, I have all these things, I have this, I have this, I have this. Oh, so-and-so's in the hospital. I'm like, it's just morbid. I don't want to go back there, because they're all surrounding themselves in the process of not the good part of what life should be about. So the people matters, right? So my mom loves going to Prove It events because she's like, listen, the people they're uplifting, they're positive, they're happy. She travels a lot. She doesn't stay there very much in Minnesota. She goes to Florida and hangs out with people that are trying to improve their life. So right now, if you look at your life and you go, if I don't change, what's the next 5 years going to look like? And is that satisfactory to you? And if the answer is no, go spend time, this is the secret, with people that are going in a direction or have what you want. Lynn, when I met Lynn 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, Lynn didn't have the health and vitality she does today, right? But she hung around us young kids, and she goes, I want what you want. Like, you're all this energy. I want that. And she grew into that to now inspire people in a different phase of their life to do the same thing. So being part of this is helping you. It's creating the environment for you to be successful. And honestly, if you look at most of the people you spend time with at work or at home or around there, they're not the vitality that you're probably looking for. I'm being somewhat general there, but go find and be that. And it might have to be virtual like this. And to me, that is the number one reason to be part of this community. Number two is the product. And then if you don't have a plan, guess who you can learn a plan from? The person that has what you want, the person that's already been through it, the person that had all the struggles that got to the other side. They have the plan that can help you get there, because guess what? It maybe isn't the exact same, but it's close because they've already walked in your shoes. So Lynn, that to me is the game changer of the whole thing.
It is a game changer. It's been a game changer for me, Dustin. And you hit the nail on the head. When you met me, you said, what do you want out of life? And I said, I just want to feel better. I just want to feel better. I didn't have the opportunity to couldn't allow myself, let's just say, to even think beyond that. First and foremost, it was, if I don't feel well, really, what's life all about? What do you want out of life? You want to feel better, everybody. We want to feel better, have better vitality. And literally, I think for me, my dreams have grown as I've felt better, right? Because I'm thinking about what Gary said the other day, and it's like, wow, 30 years? I want to be crushing it 30 years from now. I don't want to be sitting on you always say it, sitting in the rocking chair. I'm not going to be that person. This is not going to happen. And I think for every one of us that are here today, if you're over the age of 40, you got 40 good years to go crush it. If you're over the age of 50, hey, you might have more, right? But Dustin, I am super excited about the opportunities that we have here, being able to travel around the world, and you and your wife and watching your family. You're been a big part of that for me and for many, many people. I think that one thing that most of us here, like, we want to protect our health, right? We want to protect our health, but we also want to protect our wealth and grow it as we're moving forward. And that's something that, hey, it's available. It's here for all of us. You want to touch on any of that? Because I know you've got a great plan and you're headed for it. And hey, be around those people. I like hanging around with you.
Awesome. Well, before I talk, I got to just play one little thing.
I don't need your rocking chair.
I love that song. I don't know why I love that song. I just do it anyway. You get to know me. I aged early when in my 20s. I got broken down. So I got to see life in a perspective way. When you lose your function and your ability to like be yourself in your young age and you get through it, it's a very big blessing that you get to now take that wisdom moving forward instead of waiting until you're 40 or 50 to fall on your face. And then it's harder to pick yourself back up, to be honest, because you have all these programming from the past. So I don't need your rocking chair, right, Barbara Hickson? But here's the deal. I want to touch on two things. One, if you're looking at this for the first time, looking at ketones, or two, you've been doing this for a while, my biggest recommendation, and if you were to say, Dustin, what's the perfect protocol for me? Ketones twice a day. We put my mom on ketones in the morning with caffeine. We put her on a Keto Pro in the afternoon, and it was a huge game changer. And if you're somebody that wants to go further than that, you can always use our support products to support that. But that's kind of the secret. And then I just recommend, come do some 24 fast with us. Come do some of our, like, put everything together scientifically to support anti-aging and quality of life and performance. Most people come for fat loss, but the reality is we're looking at this group of people watching this. This is what this was designed for. Right now, I got a text from one of the top Olympic athletes in the entire world, and I literally sent her some packs. She's like, oh my goodness, my gold medal fuel. That's exactly what she texted me back. My gold medal fuel. Same product that my mom drinks is she's drinking. And it's pretty remarkable, right? So that is the secret plan. You got to find your own diet. Yes, I'm going to encourage you to walk more, but plug into this community. It'll be successful. But there is one thing I've learned over the last 6 years of being part of this community is that when I go to, I'm literally, if it's Singapore, Australia, the UK, Ireland, it doesn't matter where I'm at. I could be Mankato, my hometown, or my college town. It could be Canada. It could be Mexico. The reality is this, is that people, as they get older, are looking to do a few things. One, they want to get better and live healthier. Number two, and I use the word older, forgive me, we're all getting older. They want to get better. They're looking for better health. The problem in there is they're following the wrong people that are uneducated on a topic that they should really be more aware of. And I'm talking about the whole world that we live in. They don't get it yet, but they will. It's coming. Over 6 years, we've changed a lot and more is to be changed. Number two is people want to help other people. They're wanting to contribute to other people's lives. They want to help other people live better. I haven't met anybody go, I don't want to help anybody. No, we want to help more people live better. Take your wisdom that you heard. And if you're over the age of 40, you have wisdom to share to others, either over 40 or younger than 40. And then number three, most people don't have a plan financially for the rest of their life. And so if you're watching this right now and you fall into any one of those three categories, you want to get healthier, you want to help other people, or you want to financially have some more security, then you should be looking at this as a component in your life, and we'll teach you the rest. Lynn didn't know that he even turned on a TikTok or a Facebook page when she started. Now Lynn is a rock star. Why? Because she cared about helping herself. She cared about helping other people, and she wanted to financially have some independence for herself. She's taking Daryl to Greece, and they're going to go spend some time down there, and they're going to have some fun, and they're going to go move into a new location and move. They're moving in the middle of moving right now. A lot of cool things happening in her life because she was willing to commit to a journey of better. And to me, no matter which bucket you fall in, it's all part of what we do in this community, and you have the opportunity to participate at all levels in any one of those opportunities of getting healthier, helping other people, or financially, retiring sooner like my mom got to.
Retiring sooner, and I like to say retiring better, Dustin. Retiring better, because I don't care. My husband and I were always savers. We lived, we lived, I hate to say the word below our means, but we always did because we were always concerned about our future. And now here we are. He's been retired now for, I don't know, about 6-7 months. And we're out looking for our dream home. We thought we had our dream home, but I had bigger dreams for something, a little something extra. And I'm telling you right now, I got to just share this. We're going tomorrow to look at what I think is going to be our dream place. And I would have never even had the courage to do that, Dustin, 3.5 years ago. So this is how not just the product, but the community, the education, all of the things that come with Prove It can literally shift you. And it wasn't like overnight. It's taken me a while to get here, but I'm here now. And I want to just go, 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 right? Dustin, is there anything else you want to share with us before we close out today? We want to be mindful of everyone's time. I mean, we could sit here and talk for hours, right?
I'll just end with this, y'all. We're doing something special. It's funny. I have this mission to change 1 million lives every year, and we're doing something special. And once again, I'm a unique person. I'm going to be 60 some when my kids graduate high school. So I'm looking at my second half of my life very seriously because, unfortunately, I got to watch my family go in a path that wasn't well, and I don't have a lot of relatives around, let's just say. And watching my mom have a full life, I just, from the bottom of my heart, I want to give everybody that opportunity to live better. The one thing I'm going to encourage you is you're wise enough. If you're watching this right now, you're wise enough to know that your life can be better. And it could be in many ways: health, by financially, contribution, giving back to the world, whatever it is that inspires you. Just know this: it takes time. And it's trying ketones is not the approach. Drinking ketones and committing to a better life is the approach. So I tell everybody, get back to whoever invited you to this, and hopefully you're somewhat inspired. Hopefully you have questions. If you do, you might get on a call with me. You might we'll answer your questions, and we'll do everything we can to give you the support you need to have clarity and confidence that you're making a good choice. And the other thing is just commit to your journey. My sister, again, if she wouldn't have committed to more than 5 or 10 days worth, she wouldn't be here today. And she's down 100 pounds. She lives a life she is the exact opposite person, and she needed to be. She did not have a good place in her future, and it's really cool. And my mom committed because she trusted me. So trust me, just drink the product for the next 60 days, 90 days, and plug into this community, and we'll help you change your life forever if you're really committed to that.
Thanks, Dustin, so much. I mean, what you just hit the nail on the head again. Plug into the community. It's the most amazing community. We have a lot of fun, but we also learn a lot. And, that was a missing piece of the puzzle for me as well, was this community. Very supportive, very positive, and like you said, always there for us. So Dustin, thank you so much for being here today, bringing all this great energy. We hope you come back and visit another day, which I know you will. I'll just twist your arm. But literally, if you were new to the call here today, please come back, invite others to come and hear more about ketones, ketosis, all of the great things around our great company and our products. But also go back to the person that invited you today and make sure you ask them about getting started. Ask them how they can help you. Ask them about, how do I join this community? What's this all about? Because you're going to find that behind that box of ketones that maybe you're holding on to right now and saying, how do I start this? Well, they're going to help you get started. But behind that box, if you look behind that box, there's an amazing community right behind that box. You just have to open the door and step in and see what we're all about. Because I know when I did, I was like, is that the Wizard of Oz back there? Is this a little green guy controlling all this stuff? Because it's amazing. So with that said, I want to thank everyone that was here today, Matt and Debbie, for always being here, Coach Tony, all of the others. I want to tell you, Saturday, we're going to be back. We're going to be back at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So bring your friends, invite your family, come see the craziness that you never know what we're going to talk about. Have some fun, but we'll see you on Tuesday. And again, Dustin, thanks so much for being here. This is Lynn Knowles. We're going to call this Zoom a wrap. We're out of here. Have a great day.